Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. This should work. This should be live. I'm not sure if people can see me. Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. Okay, I'm gonna have double there. One sec here. So I'm doing the big drawing today. So this should be interesting. I'm gonna let some more people kind of show up, and then I'm gonna switch my screen so I can share my screen and show you uh, some of the prizes. I'm gonna give people a chance to come in, and I'm going to show you the prizes that you can win. So these are the three books. We're gonna, you can pick which one you want if you win. So we got this one's the first appearance of Catwoman in the Silver Age. One of my favorite covers, actually. It's a low grade, but still, even in a low grade, this book is kind of a pricey book. It's kind of crazy. So this is it's graded at a 2.0, but I actually think that you could clean it and press it and get it probably to 2.5, 3. So kind of a good book to pick up. So that's one. Another one is this is really low grade. Well, not this one. I didn't know which one. This is G.I. Joe #1. And this is graded at a 2.0 as well. This is not, I wouldn't pick this one. Actually, if you're going to pick a book, don't pick this one because it's not that good of a grade. For this book, you can get cheaper. It's kind of a cheap book. So I'd recommend the Catwoman because it actually is a more expensive book. But you know how it is. So there's that one, and then there's this one. This one is actually really high grade. I would say this is like a 4 to a 4.5, maybe higher. There's nothing really wrong with it except it's sun faded. That's like the only problem with it. So it could maybe even get like a 5. I don't know. It's really high grade. It has like only 2 spine ticks. It's just faded. So I don't know how fading affects the grade, but it's really high grade. It's just a little bit faded. Um, so yeah, this one definitely another great choice of the three. So those are the three books that people can win. I have like a program that I'm gonna switch off to and share my screen, and where I can sort of let you see who wins the book. It should be pretty great. I'd like to thank everybody that has subscribed to the channel. Like really, I never thought me babbling about comics, which is what I do, would ever become popular enough to get the subscribers that I have now. So I really do thank people for subscribing to the channel and watching my content. So just a quick shout out to some of the people watching. Cap and Comics. Yeah, I he's one of the Cap was the first guy to let me go on his channel, and he had a much bigger channel, and he interviewed me, so I was quite excited about that. So thanks, Cap. It's people like you that help me to build my channel. So, and then another guy, Gray Man. Another great guy. I'm trying to get him to do the interview with me. So hopefully he'll do that. And then there's my good friend Kiwi, who is he was just. This is your competition, people. Kiwi is the one that wins all the contests out there, and generally gives me lots of gifts as a result. So he's a great guy from Germany, and Lady Pop Hunter. Hi, I see. I've commented on a few things that you sent me. And Star Child, I'm not familiar with you, but hi, welcome to the channel. And Mars Comics, thanks for coming. So I just wanted to give everyone a quick little shout out there. Kevin Best, or Joseph Best, and who else is in here? Epoch. Epoch is a really great guy. He always, he's really good about doing my, I always do a Friday challenge, and Epoch is one of the few people that takes up my challenge. So I really appreciate that he does that. So, and he has a great channel. I recommend you sub his channel. So definitely check him out. So yeah, so thanks for everyone for coming. I'm gonna try to let it. Oh, and we got Dragon in here too. So yeah, so Dragon, he just did the last interview with me, so that was pretty great. And that's Jamie from from Dragon and Comics. So thanks, Jamie. And there's like a phone call as whenever I do these videos. I don't know why it is. Every single time, there's always a phone call. Some random telemarketer decides this is the time. This is the time to call me, and they always call. So that was a telemarketer. I don't know why they decide to call it this time, but yeah, that's the way it always is, right? So let me just see here. I'm gonna see if I can. How do I share my screen? One sec here. I gotta figure out how to do this where I'm not sharing like the wrong screen. Okay, so what I'm doing, I really should have had this better prepared. I realize this now. Is I have a random comment generator in the back, but it's on my different browser, which is kind of smart of me. So what I'm going to do is try to share that screen. One sec here. Maybe if I make this and then I do like that. No, does that work? What does that show? No, it doesn't do anything. Okay, I'm a little bit still learning on this whole like oh yes, here it is. I see it at the bottom here. One sec here. I'm going to go back to that. And that's the problem. I can't see it. My screen is in the way. Okay, share. And share screen. Okay, so now share screen. And then you can, I think this will work, where you're kind of going to see my screen. Square window. There we go. Share. Okay, so you should see the random generator. This is like my technology skills. Like I'm actually a tech guy, and I've always embarrassed myself when I do these tech things. And I try to show my tech skills, and I'm like failing here. So yeah, so one last time, I'm going to show. Oh, Keston's here too, and Syndicato Megalito. I can never pronounce your name. So hi guys. So these are the 3 books that you guys have a chance to win. We got the random prize generator over here. I've already entered in the URL, which is the one with the from the comments. So I put it in here. So, and then I filtered duplicate users and include replies to comments. No. So I think this is all ready. And then I put in the answer. And then I click it. So I'll do a countdown, build up the suspense a bit more. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then what happens? Oh no, URL is not right. Okay, one sec here. Okay, so my skill sets. Okay, one sec here. I gotta go back to my YouTube channel, get the right video. Okay, let's go to Okay, so I'm gonna try this again. One sec here. Get the right YouTube channel. Comment. Paste it in here. Boom. Okay, so that's now the right video. Okay, get YouTube channels. Okay, so it says amount of unique comments. Okay, and then I guess I press the start button. So this is all this buildup. Okay, so hopefully it's fun for you guys watching this. And it's going through all the names. Hopefully it's me that wins. That'd be cool. Okay, it's John Stantastic. Stancic. So the so yeah. Yeah, so okay, so it's John. If John doesn't claim it, then I'll do it one more time. So if he doesn't claim it, I'll do it one more time. So pick another winner. So this will be, if he doesn't claim it, this second person gets it. Okay. So let's see what happens. Oh, Craig. I actually think Craig is on here. I think I saw Craig. Yeah, Craig, you're the number 2 choice. So, so if Stan doesn't pick it up, then it is you that will win it. Okay. So congrats, Stan. Stan Sick or whatever his name is. If he doesn't get it, this will be Craig's prize. So but we'll see. So yeah, so that's it. He's the winner. I'm not sure which book he claimed. I'll have to look at the video, but if Craig wins, he's going to pick up the Lois Lane one, which is this book. So yeah, right, that book. So yeah. Oh, you have to be in chat to win. Keep spinning. Yeah, I don't think so. I will give it to to the guy that got it first. And it's going to be either John or Craig, one of the two. John, if it's the first, if he claims it first. Oh, John is here. Hey, John's here, and he's in the chat. So, John, you're the winner. Which book since you're here, John, which book did you want? Which book did you want? And you'll have to connect with me on Instagram and just, send me your address and I will get the book shipped out to you. So, so John, whatever book you want of the 3, you can pick one of the 3 books. You can pick which one you want. One sec. One of these 3 books, and I will get it sent out to you. So, so John is here, and he does get it. So John, you can tell me in the chat which book you like, and I will definitely get it sent out to you. Okay, so again, oh yeah, Werewolf. Okay, good choice, good choice. It's actually, I really think it's a really high grade. It is really nice. Like, I want to show it actually. It's quite nice. Like, except for the fact that it's faded. It's so weird. Like, such a high grade, I think, but it is faded. I don't know how the fading impacts the grade, but it is quite nice. Okay, so congrats again, and thank you again for everybody that that has come. What was I going to do? I was going to quickly, since I have you all here watching, I wanted to quickly say what I'm going to do with the channel. Like, I got to 2,000 subscribers. I'm really hoping to build the channel even further than that, of course. My goal is to get to 3,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That's my kind of goal, like I set for myself. But my goal is like to really keep on producing lots of great content. And I'm going to be doing some pretty big unboxings, actually. I told myself at the beginning of the year that, this year I'm going to cut back on spending and not buy so many cool comics. But so Jerry the Jitterbugs here. So yeah, so Jerry, just so you know, like, me giving out these books is like giving out a child. Like, it's like really that hard for me. I really don't like giving away my comics. It's a real struggle for me to give away my comics. So, I really don't like giving away my comics. Sorry. So yeah, so I'm only going to give away the one. Sorry about that. But maybe for 3,000 subscribers, what I'll do is I'll do another contest at 3,000 subscribers, where I'll give one big comic and a secondary prize for the people watching. So then you can have double the comics. So I'll have to find some more duplicates in my comics to do that, because yeah, I don't really like giving away my comics. I'm really I'm really paranoid about giving away my comics. It's the funniest thing. So yeah, so you know, it's weird. I don't know how people feel about that. How do you feel about giving away your comics? I don't know. I'm sort of weird. But I wanted to say before I kind of lose my train of thought, I'm really going to be doing some pretty great unboxings. I got some really great books that are on their way. Like I've been buying a lot of these Fiction House books, like Planet Comics, and some really great Fiction House ones like Fight and stuff like that. And those are coming in the mail eventually. So I'm kind of waiting for them. And there's a bunch of stuff that's coming. If you were watching my videos today, I did part 1 of like a 5-part thing. And that video, like there's some really amazing things that were in that box. It's just insane. That box I actually opened up like a few weeks ago, but I have another one where I always send all my stuff to Sacri. And what happened was I was like, oh, you know, it's like 65 orders like of comics that I've ordered. And what happened was it's going to be 3 big boxes. It's just that much stuff that's coming. So stay tuned for that. That'll be at probably, I'm thinking that's going to be at the end of the month. So and there's some really amazing books in there that I think you'll be impressed with. So I'm hoping to do some more, not just unboxings, but some more, you know, variety. I'd like to do more artist spotlights, and I'd like to do more. One sec here, I'm going to make myself big. More stuff that's just like, you know, different things. Like I'd like to do, you know, different stuff. So I'd almost appreciate any feedback people could give me about things that they like when they watch my channel, what they want me to see, what they want to see me do. So for example, I'm doing a lot of unboxings. That's standard. I started doing this whole interview series where I've been basically showing, you know, interviews from different other comic collectors and from artists. I have a couple artist interviews recorded that will be airing in the future. But you know, I'm kind of curious, what kind of things do you guys want to see from the channel? And I'd appreciate any feedback. And I'm always like open to ideas. I'm sort of worried about, like, somebody recommended that I do movie reviews and TV reviews way back when, and every time I do those, I always get into trouble. So I'm not sure if I'll be doing those as much. I don't know. I always get into trouble. Like I always get like, you know, like shadow banned by YouTube and stuff. So I'm a little bit nervous about doing those because if you go against what they want you to say. But you know, I'd like to know what people like from my channel, and you know, I really do appreciate everybody watching and willing to watch the crazy stuff that I'm doing. If you see the books behind me, you know that I really like Golden Age. But I was actually thinking, and you guys can tell me if I'm wrong on doing this. Like, I actually wanted to show some of the, like, when I got back into collecting comics before I started my comic channel. One of the things that I collected was I really got into collecting Silver, Bronze Age, and Copper Age books. Like what I kind of did when I first got back into really collecting like full force was I wanted to get all the keys that I really wanted. You know, like, you know, when I was a kid, you know, you'd sort of dream about getting that first Daredevil or first, you know, X-Men or first, you know, major characters. And so when I first got back into collecting comics, I sort of bought a lot of the keys, the major keys that I couldn't afford when I was younger. And, you know, I was thinking of showing kind of that journey. Like, if you had the money, what books would you buy? And I wanted to show the different ages, like Bronze Age, Silver Age, and Copper Age. Not just Golden Age, because I do a lot of Golden Age stuff. So I was curious about what people feel about that, like that kind of idea of showing. It's similar to what, what's his name? What's that other channel? I'm just blanking on this guy's name. He's got a great channel. Alex the Comic Hoarder. Alex the Comic Hoarder, he does his like what he calls cornerstone books. And I was actually wanting to show what I thought were my cornerstone books for when I first got back into collecting comics. So I kind of wanted to show you that so you could get a sense of what books I think would be great ones to have in a collection if maybe money is not an object, and you can sort of get the big keys. What would those big keys be? So foundational books. So those are like ones I kind of wanted to show because I really, when I first got back into collecting, I really went after what I saw as foundation books. So I kind of want to show those. Also, I plan to do some shows about the golden age because I love I've been really hooked on the golden age in the last few years, where I've been sort of like trying to get everything. I feel like I'm hoarding all these golden age books now. I really do want to show what to look for in the golden age. I get people writing to me at my email address where they ask me, are these the good books or what books to go after? So I'd also like to teach people about what books to go after in the golden age. Now, there are various types of collectors. I personally, I'm a collector of good girl art. That's kind of my big focus. But I do also like pre-code horror. So if you watch tomorrow's video, like where I do my Q&A, I'm going to be showing a lot of pre-code horror tomorrow. So you got to watch that video. It's a pretty great video, actually. There's just so much stuff that I show because people ask me questions where they ask me to show this stuff. So one sec here, John, since you won too, I gotta give you a bit of a shout out. So he said, unboxing episodes, variant show, and comic collector geek interviews are great. So thanks. So I actually, like the way my channel goes in terms of like popularity. So one sec here. So Lady Pop Hunter, you're the one that actually asked me about the pre-code horror. So I grabbed a whole bunch of books to show you. So you got a big section of the show tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. I'm sure you'll love it because there's going to be a lot of pre-code horror. But my channel, I was just going to say was I can watch the how many views I get for the videos during the week. It's kind of like like curved like that. And what happens is usually the price variance show sadly doesn't get that many views, and I really feel bad because it's such a great show. Usually, like Mark and I do a pretty great show where we talk about some really cool things, and I really think people are missing out by not watching the price variance show because it just has some crazy stuff that we give away and talk about in terms of knowledge. He's a very smart man, and he's really getting into investing in comics. So he really does take it from that approach, and just some really great information is being shared. I actually went back and watched the video from Monday because there was just so many tidbits that we were putting out that were actually quite useful, and it's nice even for myself to get that information. So I definitely recommend you check out Monday's video and all the prior price variance shows because they're actually quite good. What was I going to say? One sec here. Do you collect anything other than comics? I've been thinking of doing a tag video at some point, but it'll include other collectibles too. So I actually collect, so people that have watched my channel know that I collect coins. I was a very big coin collector way back in the day. That was the first thing I collected. And basically, I'm Canadian, so I collected all the Canadian coins. So I have almost a complete Canadian coin collection. And then I got into collecting bills and stuff like that. I have a pretty impressive Canadian collection. So I have like all the gold coins, all the silver coins, all the different denominations, and then I have all the bills. So it's a pretty impressive collection. There's only one or two. There's a few things I'm missing, obviously, but but I have a pretty impressive collection. So I do collect other things. So I collect that. I collect stamps. I find that if you have the collector gene or bug or whatever it is, like, I'm not sure if it's a virus or if it's like a genetic thing. You'll end up collecting a whole bunch of stuff. Just you have that in you where you feel like you got to collect whatever. So yeah, so that would be actually a great tag video though, I think. Kiwi says he collects pops and Pokemon cards that I've sent him. Yeah, so I have actually a pretty great collection of Pokemon cards and pops because Kiwi keeps on sending me them that he wins from these free contests. So it's pretty great. And my kids, actually, my daughter has an insane pop collection. It's like 300 pops. It's quite nice. There's a guy that I know that has the biggest pop collection. That's Pop Fun and Play. He's got an amazing collection. So yeah, the defective DNA strand, that is the collector gene. That is definitely the gene for collecting things is definitely that defective, maybe recessive gene. So yeah, it's definitely a funny thing that we all have. Is my son is infected with the collector gene as well? Yeah, he collects the cards. He likes hockey cards and he likes the Funkos, and he also likes Pokemon cards, and he does like comics. He does collect certain things, but he's kind of rebellious right now because he's a teenager, and now he's like, oh, dad is not cool anymore, and so it's like he doesn't collect the way I wish he would. I miss when he was like always watching the auctions with me, and it was really fun back then, but he's kind of moved away from it because I'm not cool anymore in his eyes. I know that this phase will last a few years and then I'll become cool again, but right now I'm in that non-cool daddy phase, so it's sort of sad. But I don't know if people have kids and they've experienced that, but yeah. So yeah, Lyle says, I've been collecting since 1968. I have lots of everything. that sort of seems to be like the way that it happens. We collect even though we don't even mean to. Like, I think the North American sort of way of living is to become a collector. We're hoarders by nature, I think, in North America. Just so much stuff that we collect, so yeah, I can see that. So yeah, so Mars says, yeah, my kids are in that phase right now. It's sad, isn't it? Like, as a parent, it's really sad when your kids kind of get out of phase with you, and they're in that closed door phase where they're like just hiding in their rooms. I sort of miss hanging out with my kids and them wanting to hang out with me. Like, before it was like, they would try to chase me and try to get my attention, and I'd be busy and I'd be like, oh, I'll play later. Now it's like the opposite. I'm like chasing them, trying to get them. Can you hang out with me, please? Like, so sad. But yeah, that's one of the fun things about being a parent. The kids kind of go out of phase, right? So yeah, but yeah, so it's I'm really, I wanted to again say thanks to everybody for subscribing to the channel and for like hanging out with me. I was actually debating about this, and I kind of wanted to ask your opinion about it. Every Sunday, I watch the Heritage auctions, and I was debating about it where I would do it live, where I would show show me watching the Heritage auctions and showing the bids that I'm planning on doing. But I was worried that if I do that, watching the live auctions, that people would bid on the same items that I'd be bidding on. So I'd be like, maybe I'll create my own competition. So I didn't. Yeah, so I was debating about doing that, and then I thought maybe it'd be better to record some of those. So I was debating about in future videos showing recordings because I didn't want to be competing with you guys for books that I wanted. Yeah, so that's something I'm planning as well. I have some pretty pretty cool ideas. The problem is I never have enough like days in the week. Like I actually planned out all the videos for September. Like pretty much everything's recorded except my Wednesdays and Fridays shows. The whole month is basically booked. So I don't have enough like days to show all the videos that I'm trying to record because I have so many ideas of things that I'd like to like to show you guys. So yeah, but that was one of the ones that I wanted to do, like where I show heritage auctions and just kind of show you like how I bid and how I kind of like the kind of interaction that I do with the heritage auction. So my bidding strategies, that excitement of the auction itself, where you get to see, oh, the is it going to go? Because there's so many times where like I don't know if I'm going to win it. Like it starts off like there's so many times where it starts off like at $100 bid, and you think, oh my goodness, okay, I bid like $500 or something, that's which is a reasonable price, and it's at 100, so I'm totally going to get this book, and then you see the bid, it just goes up really really quickly, and then you lose out at that $500 range, even though you thought that was a great bid, and it can go like 300-400 higher than what you bid, and it's crazy to see that happen. So there's a certain excitement watching some of these auctions, the live auctions, where you get to see that is it going to stop? Is it going to keep on going? Is it going to go past you? And then you hear this thing, like on Heritage, they always go, "You've been outbid." There's a sort of like a robotic voice that says that, and it's like, oh no, it's like you're so sad because you're missing out on a really big book. Like I just missed out on a really cool book, like one that I've been sort of chasing after for a while, and it was kind of a low grade book, but it went, I think, $200-300 above my highest bid. I was like so sad because I was debating about bidding on it like that one more time, but it was a book where it's like it's an Alex Schomburg cover, and it's just such a great cover. Basically, it's like you see these Nazis, okay, on the cover, and the Nazis are like preparing chocolate, okay. They're like, it looks like they're like preparing these like bars of chocolate, and they're injecting poison in this chocolate, okay. And then through the window, you see like these Nazis giving the chocolate to children. It's just such a great classic cover. And it was on Heritage. It was in a 0.5 grade. It was like really low grade. So I thought, oh, this may be an affordable copy because it's a pretty pricey book normally. And it went for, I think, around $800. Yeah, exciting. Yeah. So the book that I'm talking about is Exciting 39. Yes. It's a book that it's been on my sort of watch list for a while. And yeah, I just, I've been trying to get that book, and every time it just goes for crazy prices. It's, there's certain key issues from the Golden Age that just go for crazy prices. And that's one of them. That the other one that I was watching in the same auction was, what's it called? The one with the wine glass and the girl, like you can see through the wine glass, you see that she's like got like a skull, like a face, I'm blanking on the name for some, what issue it is, but you guys hopefully can know by that description. One sec here. I know what it's. One sec here. I'm gonna look it up. I gotta look it up now. But it's a great issue where it's the girl in the wine glass. One sec here. It just had a record sale. It was like a 2.0, and it sold for $10,000. So those key issues, like I kind of want to show those on my channel and show you me bidding on those books at auction, because I think they're definitely very cool books that I'd love to show. One sec here. I gotta find it though. One sec. Let's see. I'm using another screen to see the name of the book. And does somebody have it? Did somebody mention it? Chamber 19. Yes, this book. Okay. So wait, I'll get it. One sec here. Chamber. Chamber of Chills, I believe. Chamber of Chills. One sec here, and I will show it. Add to stream. So this book, this is one that I've really, really wanted. One sec here, I'm going to hide you again. So this is the one that I was just watching on Heritage last weekend, and I was going to bid on it. I was like, you know, this is a book that I really thought, you know, maybe it would go for that $1,000 to $2,000 range. I was really delusional. It went for $10,000 after buyer premium. So it's just a crazy, crazy book. You know, it's one of those ones that it's been used. I think the Monsters, they used it as their record cover. It's just one that people really love. Actually, Huey just sent me. Archie is doing an homage of it, where they're having, like, you know, I think Sabrina or one of those characters is homaging this cover. But it's such a great great cover. And so a lot of the books that are from the Golden Age, that's what people look for, those classic covers. Now, one of the things that I was actually planning on doing on my channel is really teaching people what to look for in a classic cover, not just from the Golden Age, but from the modern age, because there's some books right now that are coming out, like today kind of idea, that will have those classic covers that 30, 40 years from now, people will want because they have a classic cover. So there's opportunities that still exist to pick up some of these really great books with these classic covers. So yeah, so it Misfits. See, yeah, I was saying the Monsters, but the Misfits were the ones that that used it in the record album thing. Yeah, see. Everyone's correcting me. See, I'm not 100% on names, just so you know. I do my best. I do my best. Okay, but so yeah, so yeah, I just think that's funny that you guys correct me. So this is actually one of the few times where, like, when I'm doing my recordings, like, I realize that I mess up the names sometimes, and then you know, I realize afterwards, and I'm like, oh, I said they're totally the wrong name, and I'll put it in the description that I messed up the name, or in my comments on the videos, just because I get annoyed by myself making mistakes like that. So, but it's cool that we're doing this live and you guys can correct me when I'm wrong. So I do appreciate it. So yeah, Darling or Darling. That's a really great name too. So Collecto6. Collecto6 is a guy, you guys, if you haven't gone to his Instagram channel, by the way, or whatever it's called on Instagram, if you haven't subscribed to him on Instagram, you really should, because or followed him on Instagram, I should say. He has an amazing collection that he shows on Instagram. He says, I'm not a big PCH, which is pre-code horror guy. World War II propaganda, Schogberg, and Good Girl Blow Up My Dress. So yeah, so he likes, like, he's like me. He likes a lot. We seem to like the same stuff, like a lot of the Good Girl art and Alex Schomburg stuff. But he has an amazing collection that he shows on Instagram, and you should really check it out. I learn a lot from him. He really kind of guides me into buying certain books, which is kind of cool. So yeah. But yeah, so one of the things that I was going to do on the channel is, like, really dive into how do you figure out what is a classic cover, and you know, not only from the Golden Age, but I would showcase some of the ones from the Golden Age, but what to look for in a modern cover that can have that same kind of thing, where you can say, hey, look, this is a classic cover. And it will become something of value. I can think of really good ones, like Detective Comics 880, which is the Jack cover with all the bats forming the Joker's face. That's a classic cover, in my opinion, a modern cover. Another one is, I think it's Spider-Man 60, where it's the spider web that forms Spider-Man's head. I think that's a classic cover. Another one that just recently came out, which I think is got that classic kind of high potential value for it, is the one with it's Sotomaki that did it. It's the one with Catwoman and Poison Ivy, and they're drinking milk. I think that's got that classic cover, and I think that looking for those opportunities to get these kind of classic covers, they have to be rare though. That's one thing that people don't understand is the big problem with the modern stuff is they have to be rare. So generally you have to find the books that are a little bit obscure and ones that will have that kind of rarity plus classic cover component to them. Yeah, so Alex Ross is definitely a good example. I'm not sure if you guys saw my video where I was showing some of the Alex Ross books that I picked up. One of the ones that I thought is a classic cover from Alex Ross is his homage that he did for Detective 1000, where he homaged Detective 27. That is a classic cover, in my opinion. It's in some ways even better than the original Detective 27 because it's got that Alex Ross style, and which is really nice, and it's just a really brilliant cover. That comic, I paid like $200 for it. It's like, but it's a 9.8. It's like one of those books that is an instant classic. Also, he did a really great cover for Fantastic Four. I think I forgot what the issue number is, but it's like the one where they're on the rocket ship. That's a really just a classic cover. Oh, my friend from overseas. So Mark is here. Mark, wow. It must be really, it's like 11 o'clock at night for him. So yeah, so good evening to Mark. So he's my friend from overseas. Another great guy that just joined us, Biggie is here. So my favorite Alex Ross is Immortal Hulk 2. So yeah, see, that's another great cover. And I picked up all those ones because I really like Alex Ross. So it's just a really great one. Biggie, by the way, since I'm talking about Biggie, I really want to convince, and I want everybody here to help me convince Biggie to do an interview with me, and hope that he comes on my channel on the weekend, and I'd like to interview him and talk about his books. Because he's a really great guy, and I've been on his channel a few times. Just a really good guy. There's some really great people in the community, by the way, just so you know. This is such a small community. It's amazing how everybody kind of knows each other. And like, I think it's interesting how it's a very tight-knit community. And I think that's something that I hope that my channel can promote and actually become more and more part of. Like, I really want to promote that community, that comic community. So yeah, so Biggie said, oh, so everyone, I'm quoting him here. He said, "Of course I will. He's gonna be one of my interviews coming up. So he's gonna do that, and I'll I'll have him on the channel. So he's a great guy. So yeah, so yeah, so oh, okay. So here's a question to Mark. Wow, you guys are asking Mark. I have a question. Do you think 380 is a good price for Avengers 57 in a CGC 5.5? So for those people that are not familiar, Avengers 57 is the first Silver Age vision. There's actually a Golden Age vision. Actually, QE was the one that showed me that book. So $380, right? If that's dollars, let me just quickly, I'm going to just do a quick go collect here. Avengers, because I don't necessarily know all the prices off the top of my head for 5.5. So I'm going to actually watch. I'll show this one sec here. Okay, so this is Avengers. Okay, so you're going to see some real-time analysis. So here's Avengers 57, and then we scroll down to 5.5. Fair market value is 550. Okay. Now, if you look here, the 1-year average and the 30-day average, this book is kind of going down just based on those numbers. If we click into it, you can see that it's kind of plummeted. So 380 actually might have been a high price to pay. You probably could have gotten it in that 330 range, if you see what I'm saying. Even though Go Collect shows that fair market value is being 550, the books have really come back down on the prices. One of the things that I do when I look and determine, hey, what's a good price or what's a fair price for this book, is I look at this trend line. If you look at this line, and then so you get this big spike that happens right around here. Well, that was the COVID pandemic and all that kind of stuff, that kind of crazy time period where the books just went through the roof. Well, you kind of ignore that. Let's say that didn't happen, okay? Because that's kind of not real in a way, what the values are. So what I do is I look at where this trend line would be if it just kind of fell the same pattern. And I would say that it would actually be a little bit lower than this. I would say it's more close to that like 300, 330 range. Okay. It is a great book to have, and probably even at 380, you're not going to be lost. You're not going to lose out. Eventually, it'll come back up to that price. But I would say 380 is a bit high for today. It's one of those books that it's kind of lost a lot of its value because stream. Okay, so I'll make myself big again. So one of the things is that's a great book. It's one that will hold its value in the long term, but right now it's a little bit soft. Is the point that I'm trying to make, because what happened was Vision died. Spoiler alert, he died. Okay, but okay, quickly, bye, Kiwi. So thanks for coming. But Vision dies in Infinity War, and because of that, that book's kind of come down a bit. However, just so you know, there is hope for the Vision character. So what's happening is they're doing a Wonder Man series, and Wonder Man, for those people that don't know, is very connected to Vision. Like the two characters were kind of interrelated. And WandaVision had sort of that like the WandaVision plus Doctor Strange movie had sort of a weird ending in terms of like the arc for Wanda. Like Wanda is kind of, you can tell that Wanda is kind of like was liked. Like everybody kind of liked Wanda, even though she's the bad guy in Doctor Strange. But people liked her, and her arc is kind of unsatisfied because she's dead. Like, we didn't see her die, and that means that she's not really dead. But, there's that kind of feeling that we kind of want to see her arc be successful, where she gets Vision, she gets the kids back, she gets all those things. Well, the Wonder Man storyline, which they're doing a series for, kind of fits into bringing back Vision. And I think Vision will come back. He is a character that people liked, and I do think that book has potential to go back up again when Vision is brought back into the MCU. So I would say that right now I'd try to get it on the low when it's going down. I would try to pick it up for that 300 to 330 range. I think that's a fair price. So you got to kind of know a little bit about where they're going with the storylines. Marvel is actually not subtle about where it goes with things. Like you can really see, if you know the books, you can see where they're going to go in terms of the characters they're planning on using. So I actually really spec'd hard on Wonder Man like over a year ago, because I saw, they're doing WandaVision, they're doing these kind of shows. Like I could see that they're going to have to get into that storyline. So, it's one of those things. You gotta sort of watch what they're doing because they'll hint at the characters they're planning on using. So definitely watch for that. Another thing that you can do is look at which comics they're releasing. A lot of the time they will really not subtly like hint at which characters they're planning on doing. Like they I think when just before the Doctor Strange movie came out, they released a new American Chavez comic. Like things like that, where they're really obvious about which characters they plan to bring into whatever movie. They'll do that in order to sort of introduce people to the characters so that they can have that fan base for the movies before the movies come out. I noticed that they're spending a lot of time on Moon Girl lately. And I think that's another great spec because Moon Girl is one of these like new young characters that they seem to want to bring in. Another is Riri Williams, is another character that I think they're going to try to make moves with a lot of these new Avengers characters. So I can see them really going into that phase 2 of the Avengers where they bring a new team of Avengers. So definitely those are books that I'd kind of, if I was into the more modern stuff, those are the kind of books that I would be focusing on. I've actually bought all those books like 3-4 years ago because when I first got back into collecting, I was like, oh, what are the cool books? What are the cool characters? And I was trying to pick up all those books related to the modern popular characters. So I picked up like a new Young Avengers, the new Avengers book, which is like $300-400 book. I picked it up for like $20 or something like that at the time. Those books, like you can sort of see where things are going, and you can sort of spec accordingly. Epoch, Epoch, you got to check out his channel. Like not just that he always does my cover challenges, but he actually releases these very short videos where he talks about some of the stuff that's happening with the TV series and stories that are coming out. So definitely check him out. But yeah, he said that the Moon Girl animated series is coming out. I actually heard about that as well. So as I said, these are things that if you sort of watch for, you can sort of prepare and pick books that will have that potential to grow. So so Silver Knight, thank you. I just wanted to say, yeah. So yeah. So those are some of the things that I have been watching. But I'm curious in terms of like since I have you guys here, I'm always curious, what do you guys like to see from my collection, or in terms of my videos? Do you like the Golden Age stuff? Like I'm a big Golden Age guy now, but or do you like the more modern stuff? I find that there's so many channels devoted to modern stuff that I don't want to be just like every other channel that talks about, oh, this is the spec of the week. I really don't want to be that. I want to be a little different. And I'm curious, what do people collect? Are you guys more on the older stuff, or do you like the more modern stuff? I'd be curious. This is a question to you guys, the audience watching. What do you guys like? Do you like the more modern stuff, or do you like the more Golden Age stuff, or Silver Age, or what age that you'd like? So just anyone that wants to answer that, that's my question to you. What books are you guys collecting? What are you kind of interested in? So I'm getting a lot of Golden Age. Yeah, that's what I think too. I think that he says I like your take on modern age stuff. There are plenty of modern age, Golden Age stuff. There are plenty of modern age channels. I agree. I'm not going to be. I can't compete against the Comic Toms and the Gem Mints and all those guys. I really do want to be a little different, and that's why I like the Golden Age. And yeah, see, a lot of people are saying Golden Age. Spec killed modern books for me. I prefer Silver Age at the moment, and I read indies. And you like under the radar stuff. Some people prefer bronze and earlier. especially a Platinum and Victorian age specialist. Okay. Yeah. Actually, I have like 3 or 4 Platinum age books in my collection now. I've been getting into buying Disney Platinum age books. They're kind of cool. You can actually pick up. It just freaks me out actually that you can pick up a Platinum age Disney books, like these early Disney books from the 30s, early 30s, for just so cheap, like $30. Like I picked up some like really cool book, like Air Mail Pilot. Like it's a book. It's like a solid big book, and it's just amazing to me that you can pick those up. Uh, and oh yes, any scantily clad women. So that's pretty much my whole entire collection is scantily clad women. So that's that's pretty much all ages and my collection. Um, and yeah, so you like my Golden Age Wonder Woman. So yeah, I'm really a big fan of Golden Age Wonder Woman as well. Um, you like to see Golden Age stuff. Yeah, I mean, the thing is with Golden Age, the one great thing about Golden Age is people don't get to see that very often. You don't really like. There's not too many people that have Golden Age stuff. Um, and that's what's interesting about the Golden Age, especially for me. Like one of the things that I find is, and this is why I was saying that I like Collecto6. He's left now, but his channel on Instagram is really interesting because what I'll see is books that I don't regularly see. It's there's so many books that you don't know until you know. It's like just like that Chamber of Chills 19. It's a great book, and once you see it, you're like, I got to get that book. It's like that kind of thing. And there's like so many Golden Age books that you just don't know until you see it. And I find that one of the things that I'm trying to do is bring awareness to some of these books that have been sort of under the radar. And there's like the Golden Age collectors that know, oh, this is a really good book. This is a really good book. And that just we don't know because, unless you're exposed to it, that you have to kind of hunt for. And a lot of the Golden Age collectors, it's something I've found, and you can correct me if I'm wrong about this, but I found that Golden Age collectors are kind of secretive. Like it's almost like a cabal, like where they don't want to tell you what are the good books because they want them for themselves because there's not that many of them. So it's like it's all about hunting for those really rare books. So they're like they're like really secretive. Oh, finding out about ghost comics, like the one that's right behind me there. That was a really cool collection to find. Where people, they really didn't want people to know about it because they're searching for it too. So it's like it's one of those things with the Golden Age. It's like very secretive society kind of thing. And I think I'm kind of one of those guys. I don't mind showing stuff that I'm even actually chasing after, because I think it's one of those things. Like when I first started collecting comics, I didn't see the Golden Age as something that I could even approach. I didn't even see it as a like. I just thought it's like that way above me kind of level where I just didn't think I could even ever own any Golden Age books. And then after starting dabbling into the Golden Age, I learned that there's actually some really affordable books from the Golden Age that you can pick up. And if you do proper hunting and searching and all this kind of stuff, you can find some really amazing books that you would never think that you could have in your collection. And it's just one of those things where it's really interesting to me, like that learning about the Golden Age and getting into it because you can find some really amazing deals. And there's a whole secret society almost like, and I always like that idea of finding these kind of cool books. So yeah, wait, one sec here. Forgot to show my Golden Age ECs yesterday, especially my Batman 15. Wow, Batman 15, great book. Okay, so these are kind of like, yeah, so congrats on that, by the way. One sec here. Oh, I'm trying to make people hear. The books that you showed last night were awesome. Maybe next time a little bit of gold. What were the books that I showed last night? What were the ones that I showed last night? I'm just trying to think. Yeah, I can't even think of which ones I showed last night. Oh, that's somebody else maybe. That was maybe on Silver Knight's thing. Okay, so yeah, so Silver Knight showed some great books. So uh, it's nice to see Golden Age stuff, but so much of it was destroyed during SOTI panic. Yeah, that's the thing. Like a lot of the books from the Golden Age, like they were actually had bigger print runs than we have of books today. Like the print runs now, like a big run is like maybe 500, maybe no, not many. Maybe 100,000 is a big print run. Like most books nowadays are in that 5 to 10,000 range. Like they're not printed to the level of the Golden Age. Golden Age would have print runs of like 100,000 to a million. Even Action One, that was a million print run, but very few survived. The panic of the seduction of the innocent and what it did to American society. That people were all panicked that comics are destroying the youth, and they would just basically burn them all. And also during the war, a lot of the books were destroyed because of the paper drives, where they needed paper for the military, and they would take old comics and then they would turn them into pulp, and people would do paper drives and stuff like that. So a lot of the books were lost. Also, the fact is, like, the Golden Age is over 80 years ago. So a lot of these books, it's just time itself is not that good to comics. So a lot of them didn't survive. So a lot of these books are really quite rare. And that's why it's always cool to find something that you hadn't seen before. So I really do like showing some cool Golden Age stuff. Some of the unboxings that I'll be doing, I actually recommend, like, it's so funny. Like, I never understand this. Like, I do some really great unboxings, and I never understand why people don't watch my old unboxings. Like, they're quite good, like some of the stuff that I'm pulling out, and you don't get to see it that often. So I actually recommend that people watch my older unboxings as well. There's some really great stuff that gets shown that that people should watch, or watch other people's unboxings. The one thing that I have to say with unboxing videos in general, like watching my show or watching another one to watch, is Automatic Comics. He's got some really great stuff that he shows. Is that when I unbox stuff, or when some of these other collectors unbox stuff, they're books that we're adding to our personal collection. See, these aren't spec books. The ones that I'm showing in my unboxing videos, they're not spec books. They're books that I actually want in my collection. They're ones that I'm excited to have in my collection. And that, in a way, says a lot more than some of the stuff that you watch on other channels, where they show a whole bunch of books, or they say, oh, this is the hot book. Those books, nobody cared about. Like, nobody really, they only care about it because it's hot that week. But the books that I'm putting into my collection, those books I obviously care about because they're in my collection. And so that's generally what I've been wanting to do. And one of the videos that I'm actually planning on recording, and I'm going to have it out sometime soon, is I'm going to be doing a video where I'm going to go to other people's channels. And what I'm going to do is just record their backgrounds. So what happens is, if you watch like Reggie Collects or Comic Tom or any of these channels, any of the comic guys, what they'll always do is what I do right now, like have the books in the back. Okay, like, see all the books in the back? They always do that. They always have them on the wall or something behind them. Well, those books are the PC. You're looking into their PC. They might be talking about some other random hot book of the week, but if you look at the things behind them, those are the books that they want in their collection. And those, to me, are the best spec books or best investment books you can ever buy, because those are the books that they really want. One of the books that I got into, that I ended up collecting and really diving into, was Goon. Like, and it was actually Comic Tom, who always had in his background this Goon #1. And I was like, what is that book? That is such a weird book. I'm just curious what it is. And then I decided, hey, I'm going to pick up Goon and read it and see what it is. And it's just such a great story. So I can understand why he had it behind him. He was showing it in a way of pride, and also that he loves that book. So what I realized was, uh, that was a great book to invest in. So that book, since I bought it, I bought it for like $100. Now it's like maybe $1,000, depending on grade. It's really gone up. So a lot of these books, the collectors are kind of funny. Or the spec channels that you watch are kind of funny, because they'll be hyping some random book that, if you ever watch like those videos where they kind of look at it 6 months later, a lot of the time those books they go up and they crash. But the ones that generally go up and consistently go up are the ones that are on the person's wall. If you look at the wall books that those people have on their channels, those are the books that are stable books, and they will generally continue to rise. They're not, because they're books that people actually love from the beginning. So I was planning on, looking into that a bit more and showing some of that, those kind of videos on my channel as well. So those are things to look forward to. Like, I have so many ideas of things that I would like to show. I just don't have there's just not enough days in the week to show it all. I was debating, would it be too much of me, like seeing me too much, where I do 2 videos a day? Like, if I did a video twice a day, would that be too much? Would people kind of get sick of that? I don't know. You can tell me in the comments. If I put out 2 videos a day, would that be too much content? And you just be like, that's enough. I'm so tired of this guy. So yeah, I don't know. So yeah, so that's something that I was debating about. But yeah. So does anyone have any questions for me as I just babble about random things that I'm going to do? Yeah, so if you have questions, I will gladly answer any questions people have. But if not, I will wrap up things. And I really do want to say thanks for everybody that attended this me babbling about comics. And thanks for everyone for subscribing to my channel. I hope that I can get to 3,000 and then do another one of these big videos where I give away something even bigger. So that's something I'm planning on doing. Actually, I have a book in mind, what I plan to give away for my 3,000 subscribers, and it's a rare SOT book. There's like only 10 on the census. I just happen to have 2 of them, so thinking of giving away. It's a highly sought after book, actually. So I was thinking about giving away that for my 3,000 subscribers, but that's far away. That's me. Like, I always try to think about the future. So that's something to look forward to. But if you guys, tell people to subscribe to my channel, maybe that'll happen sooner than later. So yeah, so again, I'd like to thank everybody for subscribing to my channel. I'd like to congratulate John for winning the contest. I was actually hoping that, I commented so many times on that thing. I was thinking, will I win this? Will I win my own contest? But I didn't. So yeah, that would be funny. But again, thanks for everyone for watching, and bye for now.